All right, so we're going to do a video demonstration on how to use the wireless mic. Victor has the kit that you have in your case with a Pelican case and a soft case. The Pelican case has the transmitter and the receiver that you're going to use for transmitting the signal and recording onto the camera. And you also have the mic case, which is separate from the transmitter system. Victor, why don't you pull the transmitter and the receiver out and let's show them the difference between the two. The transmitter, if you turn them around so I can see them. The transmitter and the receiver are different. The transmitter has a belt clip on it. This is what the person who's going to wear the microphone is going to use. And the other one has a Velcro strip on it. And the Velcro strip is going to go onto the camera. So they're distinctly different. The microphone is going to plug into the transmitter, and there's a cable that goes from the receiver, the one that goes on the camera, into the camera. So Victor, why don't you show us how to set these up?
So first off, we have to sync the transmitter with the receiver. In order to do so, you need to take the receiver, that's the one with the Velcro on the back of it, and you need to open up the latch. Mine has no batteries. If yours has no batteries, you need to put a case of AA batteries. I have a case over here, and you should have some in the Pelican case. It's always good to start off with fresh batteries before you do an interview. So I'm going to go ahead and do that.
While Victor is putting the batteries into the receiver and the transmitter, both of them need them. One of the things that we find is sometimes students will have left used batteries in the case. Don't panic. If you find yourself with batteries that are dead, just regular AA batteries will work. And the fact that you're holding onto the camera for a long time means you're going to be in the business of buying some AA batteries for it anyway.
So now I put my batteries in here and I can just hit the on and off switch on the receiver. Once that turns on, you're going to want to use the navigation arrows and scroll down to where it says easy setup. So easy setup is what you want. Once you get to easy setup, you're going to hit the set button. And then it's going to take you into another sub menu. Under that sub menu, I'll try to get closer for you guys. You're going to want to scroll down to scan new list. Once you can see scan new list, hit set once again. And when you hit that, it's going to take maybe a minute or so to scan for frequencies. These frequencies is what you're going to set the receiver and sync the transmitter to. So you can even see it. There's a little bit of a progress going on. If you can't see it on my end, it may be hard to tell, but there is a little bar that is slowly going from left to right on my receiver.
The theory here is that this is a radio transmitter and receiver, and it's looking for available frequencies to transmit a signal on. In all likelihood, you really don't even need to do this step. Usually they will work right away as they are. But it's good for you to get into the practice of resetting the frequencies just in case you're in a place that has a difficult time creates a difficult time for the transmitter and the receiver to work.
So right now my receiver has finished scanning, and what it shows is bank 5 and then free 12.
Can you,
What
by the
that
way, Victor, just for me, even though we're saying transmitter, can you turn it around so they can see which unit you're using?
the receiver,
Yeah,
yes.
that's what I meant, the receiver. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And a lot of these have a little RX at the top or a TX to kind of help you see if it's going to be a transmitter or a receiver.
And remember, the transmitter is turned off at this point.
That's correct. So what happens now is that it shows me bank and a bank number and free. Basically, it's trying to show me a bank that has the most free frequencies, most available frequencies for me to select. So I'm going to choose the one that it shows me, which is bank 5. And within there, I'm going to choose one of the 12 frequencies that it has decided. I'm just going to choose the first one, and I'm hitting set every time I select.
It's a random, there's no, you just get to choose. It's not there's not a, you should choose this one over that one. You're just choosing what's available, right?
Correct. And so I'm going to hit set. And right now, stored. It says stored once that happens. So right now, we're mostly done with the receiver. What we're going to want to do is we want to go back out of this submenu. So I'm going to scroll down to where it says exit. And then I'm going to scroll once more to where it says sync, but I'm not going to hit sync just yet. So I'm on sync, but I'm not hitting it. So what then I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on my transmitter. You turn it on the same way as we did the receiver. You can open up the latch and you hit the on and off switch. And so what you need to do now is you take the receiver and at about a 45 degree angle, you're going to make them face each other and you're going to hit the sync button on your receiver. So when I hit the sync button, they're at a 45 degree angle. And right now, what happens is, oh, let me do that one more time. What you want to do is you want to get a check mark on the receiver, and it happened very fast. So I'll do that one more time for you. 45 degree angle and check mark. Boom. That means that these two are now synced to the same frequency on both the receiver and the transmitter. So once you've done that, you're now ready. First, you're gonna actually wipe them down, and then you're ready to hook them up to the camera. So I'm gonna close my latches.
And you're going to wipe them down because what we're doing is during COVID, we're being extra careful.
So I'm just gonna take one of my wipes. And you could do this before or after you do the syncing of them. And you're just gonna lightly rub them. Make sure you get that LCD screen. You don't want to go into the jacks or anything like that. You just want to lightly wipe down the entire surface of the receiver and transmitter. So I think I'll do even the antenna. Nothing rough or anything, being very gentle. I'm going to do the receiver. Try not to get into the Velcro too much. Okay, so now I've wiped them down and they're ready to be.
Want to wipe down the microphone while you're at it?
So in your blue case, you have your microphone. Mine's already attached to a clip right here. I'm gonna go ahead and stretch this out just a little bit. I'm gonna do one nice rub with here. Just a nice, clean, gentle wipe. A little bit wipe the connector, just the plastic part around the connector. I'm not gonna try to get into the mic on here. I'm just wiping around the plastic around the mic and the cord. And so it should be disinfected now. Okay. One other thing, I'm also going to wipe down this XLR cable that I'm going to hook up to the camera.
And for safety purposes, I'm asking the students to wear gloves when they do this.
Okay.
Let's reinforce that concept. The idea is that we don't know if the off chance that you might be a carrier, so it would be best for the person who's going to wear the mic, for their peace of mind, if you wear some gloves and do the disinfecting in front of them so they can watch you do that with gloves on.
Correct. So, yes, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, I didn't have gloves with me today, but yes, please have gloves while you're disinfecting the camera equipment and the wireless microphones. So now that I've done the syncing, I'm going to turn on my camera and connect the two or connect our receiver to the camera for this demonstration. So I'm going to turn it on. What I need to do is I need to connect this end to the receiver port right here. So you're just going to plug it in. There's a little metal screw that will help tighten that connection.
But if you tighten it, remember to loosen it, because when you're ready to take it apart, if you forget that you've tightened it, it's possible to rip that out of the microphone and destroy it.
And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect to the XLR input that's in the back of the camera. You also want to make sure, we went over this in class, to make sure that the switch that's by that is on mic. So there's a little switch that says line mic plus 48V. Make sure that that switch is on mic only. So I'm plugging this into the back of this camera. You don't want to be too forceful with it. Oh, here we go. I have it upside down. Okay. Then you're going to stick the Velcro part of the receiver onto the Velcro part on the back of the camera handle. Now this is still a little bit wobbly, so that's why we supply a bongo tie within the Pelican case. And so in order to put this around the receiver, you're going to put it under the handle first. You're going to pull the kind of bongo end of the bongo tie underneath. Hopefully you can see that. And right now, make sure it's fastened. So right now it's a lot tighter onto the camera.
If you move your hand away, they can see it. That's great.
And so then I'm going to hook up the microphone to the transmitter. So hook it up to the transmitter. Once again, there's a screw to help you fasten it. And like Dan mentioned, when you take it out, you definitely want to unscrew that little fastener before you take out the microphone.
When I use these, I never screw them in because they stay secure without being screwed in, and that it's probably safer if you don't. But if you decide that you need to do that, just really be mindful of the fact that it's screwed in.
So right now, I'm not seeing any audio levels on my microphone, and I can tell the reasoning is that my levels on my camera, which are the wheel here, are almost set to 0. So I'm going to open the latch.
Can you hold the camera closer up to the laptop?
No problem.
So if you look at the side of the camera, there are 2 wheels. You know already that you can set the levels for the onboard microphone that on input number 2, but input number 1 now is just for the wireless microphone. So Victor's going to turn that to set it to a place that that records the levels correctly.
And so we can even start to see on the camera my levels kind of going up and down. To get a clearer look of that, I'm going to hit the status button on my camera. And so when I do that, we can now look at my audio levels and test them out accordingly. We want to make sure that the levels are kind of around the 10 area. So that's when you're going to adjust the wheel on the camera to make sure that they're matching that.
Now, ideally, what you're going to do is when you're testing it now for your purposes, but the way you're going to set the levels is make sure that the person is mic'd. And once the person is mic'd, you'll have them talk and you'll adjust the levels to their talking.
Correct.
Now let's talk about how we're actually going to hand the mic over to the person. So imagine now that you're the person. Let's hand the mic to you, Victor, and show how the person should be setting this up on themselves.
So for the person, I'm going to stand up for this demonstration. You're going to hand them the transmitter for with the camera. Ideally, what they need to do is they're going to need to snake the wireless mic underneath their shirt if that's if they're like me, and so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to snake it under. And then what they're going to want to do is take this transmitter and put it either on a belt or on their back pocket, or they can even put it on their side pocket. Right now, I forgot my belt today, so that's my bad. They could put their shirt underneath it. And then you're going to want to, and this might be a little bit difficult for me, but you're going to want to mic them accordingly depending on how they are sitting down in the interview. So right now, it's not bad. And so this is ideal if I'm sitting down and I have my interviewer is interviewing me and I'm turning this way, I have the mic on this side. If my interview subject or my interviewer is on my other side, my right side, I would put the mic on this side because that's where I'm going to be talking to, and that's where my sound is going.
Now, so once they're done, you'll take it apart, you'll do all that, but can you show them how to set the microphone onto the clip system? Because that's a little bit of a tricky thing for a first-time user.
Correct. So for this, I'm going to undo this just so I can get basically do a closer demonstration of how to do the clip system. So it looks like for this person, it didn't do exactly right. Let me see.
Just let's show the pieces
Right.
disconnected.
So I'm just going to, this person did it a different way. And so I'm going to undo this. We did put a simpler alligator clip in all of your things, but this is one piece. This is this is one of the pieces. It comes with a little triangular piece, which unfortunately in this camera case, I don't have it. When it was returned to me, I guess it didn't have that on here. And so usually you have this and a little triangular piece that you're using to hold the microphone, and then you're using the triangular piece to put in here. What this person did is that they used kind of the loop that's right here, the little clip, and they put both the microphone, which isn't a bad idea, and then they looped it with the clip itself by doing something like here. And so once you have a real person, that loop is going to hold a lot better. And the point of the loop is to give it a little bit of slack so that it's not tugging on their shirt or something like that. That's what really this loop helps with.
Victor, if we pause, will you have time to go get the proper triangle and show them how to do it?
Yeah, I could do that.
Okay, let's pause.
So with your microphone, you should have two main clips. You have one that's an alligator clip. And then you're going to have
It's
one.
hard to see it against the black monitor that's in the background.
Sure. So you
There
have
we
one
go.
that's an
That's
alligator,
much better.
and then you have one that comes in two parts. That's this clip, and as well as this little triangular piece.
Can you show the other clip? Can you turn it on side so you can show what it looks like with the holes on it? There you go. Okay. Thanks.
And so with the alligator clip, it's fairly simple. You're gonna have the little, you have a little kind of clip right here with the clip, and you're
Go.
just gonna slide the microphone. You don't want to be too hard with it, but you want to slide it into there. And then when you mic someone, I always like to do a little bit of a loop. So you would mic someone using this little loop method so that when you do actually use the clip, the loop will give a little bit of a slack and you're actually also clipping the loop itself. So right now it might be a little bit hard to see, and also I don't have the ideal shirt, but that's a little bit of a reason why you want the
Can you
loop.
show the, all we saw were your fingers on
Oh,
the loop.
all right, so I'm gonna try to face this. So I'm trying to make this loop right here. And
Wait,
so,
wait, wait, Victor.
okay.
Now turn it around so they can see the other side.
Here's the loop. Right now it's kind of loose because it's not actually clipped to someone's shirt.
But show how you'll open up the clip and put the loop along with the material.
So here, and so I'm making it here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I am clipping both the loop and the shirt at the same time. So it's a little bit hard to do on myself.
But you're going to be asking somebody to do this to themselves, right?
That is correct. So if they can do what they want to do is clip both the loop and the shirt at the same time to give it a little bit of slack.
I think what you may, considering the mic is going to be on the inside of their shirt, let's try doing it since you've got a t-shirt on. Let's try doing it without the loop. Let's just show what it looks like, because I think it might work with that clip, with the alligator clip. It might be easier for someone to mic themselves without having to worry about the loop.
So without the loop, it's much easier. Once again, and I'll put it underneath my shirt for this demonstration. We're going to want to take the clip and it'll be at a better angle with someone with a little bit of a better shirt. But right now, my collar is so flappy. But ideally, you have it something along this line. And this alligator clip is not being kind to my shirt right now.
Well, the idea, go ahead and let go. So let go. So the idea, so you can see Victor has it clipped successfully now. The idea is that you want it to at least look neat, not sloppy, and you want it to hold on, and you want the microphone on the outside of the fabric. If the microphone is on the inside of the fabric is going to rub and it's going to create sounds that you don't want. So ideally a loop helps with all that, but when somebody's miking themselves, as you can see with Victor wrestling with it, not such a convenient thing to do.
And so the second clip makes the loop actually very easy. So I'm going to take this out. Once again, I don't want to use too much force. I'm just sliding it out. And so with the second,
please treat these microphones with great care, because that microphone has just little tiny thin wires. And if you over abuse that microphone, the wires will break, it will stop working, and you're going to be out of luck.
so with the second clip, remember that I said it had two parts. First, you would take the triangular part and slide the mic into the triangular part so it gets to the back. So it's tight and snug in the back of the clip.
Let's show how much microphone is sticking up. Hold it so we can see how much microphone is sticking up. There you go. So the the idea here is that the microphone, you're not having it flopping around. It's just very close to that triangle.
That's correct. And so with this triangle, you're going to take kind of the prong parts and squeeze them into one of these slots. And so I'm going to choose the middle slot and then release it into here. And so right now we can see that the triangle has securely been inserted into the middle slot of this clip. And so now to do the loop, there's actually, you're going to use the back portion here. And so I'm just going to simply do one and the other. And so now I have a little loop. I can adjust it if I want to. Make it a little bit neater. It's looking okay. I got my loop. And so now I can take this, open up the clip, which is what I'm doing. I'm opening it up. And then I'm putting it on my shirt. And so once again, not the best shirt for this scenario. I'm probably gonna have to put it a little bit lower.
T-shirts are a pain to Mike, but Victor's done a good job of showing you that it's possible.
Yes. So you see, it's not totally bad. To make it kind of sit up a little bit right, I might have to make it a little bit lower, but it's right here. It's on my shirt. It's pronounced. And if I'm doing an interview and I'm facing this way, it's actually in a pretty good position.
Okay. Now the idea is that this excuse me, the second clip that Victor has just shown you is a little bit more of a challenge to get used to, but it is designed to keep the microphone away from the fabric, and it is designed to create a loop. The purpose of the loop really is to take stress off of the microphone so it doesn't snap the microphone off the cable or it doesn't break the cable. So it's a good idea to use a loop if you can. And what you could do, and what I would suggest, is that you actually put the microphone into the clip for the person before you clean it. Set it up, put the mic into the clip, set it up, and then wipe it down with the disinfectant and hand the whole thing over. Then what they can do is they can feed the whole microphone already on the clip up their shirt and to put it in the proper position.
Correct. So doing this all beforehand and just having the clip already here before, so that they don't have to struggle with it, like Dan is saying, is the best method when you're handing this mic over.
Now let's show how we're going to put it away, because I noticed that the mic was a little disheveled in the case. So how are we going to put it away? What's the method?
So best way to put it away, I'm going to take this mic off.
Well, could they leave it on the clip?
Some people do choose to leave it on the clip. You can leave it on the clip. You just want to make sure, if you're going to do that, that you wrap it correctly. So for one, I'm going to turn off my both my receiver and my transmitter. So first, I'm going to put away the mic, turning off my transmitter, and then unscrewing, and then unplugging the mic. And then what you want to do is you want to make gentle circles. You want to let kind of the mic lead you in this scenario. So I'm making sure that I'm not wrapping it around like a bunch.
Is that going to fit into the case? Those looks like big circles to me.
Let's see if it's too big of circles. It looks like to me it fits perfectly into the case.
Open up the case so we can see it.
So right now you can kind of see, I'm going to put my camera down. And so we have the case right here. I like to slide it into this little portion right under here. So I'm going to slide it, slide it, slide it. Making sure everything's good. Making sure that I'm not going to be shutting it or zipping onto any of the wires here. And so right now it's slid under here. I have my microphone right here. Now I can close it, making sure everything is in here. I can close the case.
Except you forgot a clip that's sitting on the desk.
Oh, did forget this clip. There's these little plastic coverings that you can use to put the clips in. So that's what I'm gonna do. And now I can close it, making sure that there's no wire sticking out. It's fine. Oh, forgot my instructions as well. So I'm gonna put that in there as well. Okay. So you're done with the mic. Mic's put away. You're gonna want to put away the transmitter, the receiver, and the bongo tie. And
So we can see what you're going to do, what you're doing.
sorry. So I'm gonna make sure that this doesn't snap off. I'm making sure I'm holding it by the bongo part. So when I do undo it, that it doesn't just snap away. I'm holding both ends. Open this up. Actually, I could just take it off right now. Turn this off.
Notice it takes about 3 or 4 seconds for the unit to turn off. You have to hold the button for a few seconds for it to turn off.
That's right. I'm unscrewing the little metal part, then I'm unplugging it. Taking out the XLR cable.
And before you do that, there's a show the button.
That's right.
There's a button on the at the camera that releases that will allow you to pull the plug out. Please push that button before you pull on the cable.
So as you're pulling it out, I was holding down on the button. And so for the Pelican case, I'm gonna open it back up. Some of the key things you want to make sure about the Pelican case, as you put these in here, you want to make sure that the antennas don't stick out. The foam in this case is a little off. Then I could put my cable. Pretty much just one loop is all that's required. My bongo tie. And I'm making sure that it doesn't close on any of the antennas. That happens quite often. Close the case.
And we're done. Give him a big smile, Victor. We can't see your face.
Great.
Thank you, Victor.
No problem.